sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is Signs They Are Not the One, Part 2. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive FI with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talked, I talked about unveiling the impacts of financial toxicity on cancer care. You can head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio and stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is: wasting time on someone who doesn't value you is like pouring water into a broken glass. I am grateful that you have tuned in today. Do me a favor, like, share the show, invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. Co-hosting with me is none other than the cancer activist, the motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Rizal Gilmore, aka The Biz. Hey, Rizal.
Hey, Lady ReShell.
How are you?
I'm okay. Today is one. This has been a good day today.
You ready for part 2?
I'm always ready for part 2. I am always ready for part 2.
Now, part 1, we ran out of time before we even got halfway through the list. So I'm hoping that we can get through some of these signs so we can educate the people on letting them know when the person is not the one.
It doesn't surprise me. We always run out of time, especially when it was one of those good, juicy topics and we just back and forth like two tennis players. Yeah.
Yes, that was part 1. That's exactly how part 1 was. Well, some of the things that we mentioned, some of the signs that we mentioned on part 1 was the lack of communication, disrespect, the lack of effort in having friends of the opposite sex, or that person making you feel bad about yourself. So those are the ones that we got through.
Mm-mm.
So I think that's a good segue into um, picking up on the signs that they are not the one.
Hmm. Different life goal. You mean after all the time we only on number 3?
Yes.
There might be a part 4 and part 5. I thought we was much further along than this.
No, the conversation was really good. So we only got to number 3.
Okay, different life goals. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's not the one because you got different life goals, but it is much easier if you do find someone who wants to share the same goals with you while y'all go through life together. But I don't necessarily say that different life goals is, like that he's not the one. You're moving in two different directions. You may want to do A and he want to do B. Doesn't mean that y'all can't be together. It goes back to the conversation that we had about individuality and uniqueness.
I think this is a little different than that because it could be different life goals could be I want to have children, I don't want to have children. I want to travel versus working, sorry.
That's everybody's life goal. Bless you.
Excuse me. Ooh.
The kids, we can, scratch the kids. And this society, this generation, I think everybody would rather travel than work. Unless maybe you're traveling for work.
Well, what about marriage? Some people may be like, I want to get married. I don't.
And some people don't. I think we've had that conversation too. Look at all those people that's in common law marriage.
Well, then you're going in two different directions. We're not. We have different life goals at this point.
I think, we've had that but do you necessarily have to be married? Can we just be life partners for whatever time?
If marriage is my goal and is not your goal, then we're wasting time.
believe that. Yes.
Now, if you're like in you 20, 18 years old, then that's different. But if I'm like 30, 40, what's the point?
Hmm. Well, that is definitely something that you and that individual have to talk about. Need to put that on the table early so y'all can get an understanding of what y'all doing and where you're going, and he understands you and you understand him, and y'all set out and try to start beginning to lay that foundation.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to decide to go separate ways because you have different life goals, and it's okay.
Or that is the beginning stage of just getting to know a person. So maybe going into a relationship or anything is not the best thing. Maybe we need to just stay as friends because we ain't on the same path. I can be attracted to you. I may want to jump your bone and all of those things, but far as us getting together, we just need to love each other from afar because we're not on the same goal path.
Exactly. I think some people stay in situations, ships, even though they know that they're not on the same path because they're attracted to this person. And you waste time. And then time is currency. You can't get that back.
Right, especially in this day and age. Can you believe there's only 6 more months left in this year and we're screaming 2025?
Wow. It's going
The
so
time
fast.
is going fast.
It is. Hey, Lisa. It is going fast. And this is why you cannot waste time on people and things that do not serve you. And people do.
We do. Ooh, trust issues.
Number 4, signs that they are not the one. You have trust issues with this person. And it could be your own insecurities, your own trust because of relationships that you have had. And now it's carrying over into this relationship, but the trust issues are valid.
I've seen a lot of relationships get sabotaged because of trust issues. You're not trusting the person because of previous things that happened to you, or a person did something and now you don't trust nobody in the world. If that's the case, you don't need to be with nobody because your relationship is not going to go well at all with anyone.
Right. And I say if that's the case, then you have some healing to do. So you need to take some time out to sort through that mess that's going on within you before you even allow somebody into your world. So,
I think this may be the one time that I will have to agree with you when you say seek counseling. Because y'all know Lady Rochelle is quick to say, go to counseling.
go to counseling, work on yourself. It's okay to work on yourself and heal and take some time. You don't always have to be in a relationship. You can take that time to love on yourself so that when a relationship presents itself, you're presenting your best self.
Absolutely.
And the trust issue, it's a big thing. If you're with somebody and you don't trust them, you don't trust that you as far as you can see them. If they're not in your sight, okay, I don't trust them.
Uh,
Like you should not be with that person.
but some people use that as an excuse to get out of a relationship or
Oh yeah.
not talk to somebody. Also, I have seen that. Like that would be the no. Oh, I have trust issues, so I can't be with you, or I can't do this, and I can't do that. Like, come on, yeah,
Oh,
nah. Mm-mm.
nowadays we're quick to just not work on the relationship, but find a way out. Oh, okay, that's my out right there. It's
No, it
easier
ain't we.
to.
It's that new generation. It ain't us. I know what type of woman that you are. You're old school. I'm old school. We will work through the situation, try to find out what's wrong. The new generation, oh, something went wrong. Oh, that's it. I'm done. It's over.
But is that a bad
Divorce.
thing? Is it a bad thing though?
What, to
Uh,
quickly say that it's over?
yeah, I mean, especially if it's in the beginning of the relationship and somebody is doing something that you don't like or you don't trust them, and it's just like, I'm out. Let me go because this is not going to work for me. Versus saying, yeah, he messed up once. Let me give him another chance. Oh, she messed up another time. Let me give her another chance. Oh, it's like, how many chances do you give this person before you just be like, you know what? I'm going to protect my peace and let this go.
Or whatever happened talking about the situation and what's going on is with this. Hey, I give you one chance. You offended me. You crossed the boundary. Don't do that again.
You could talk to them, but if you find that it's not getting anywhere and you're finding that you're repeating yourself over and over
Yeah.
and the same situations keep coming up, then it's time to exit.
Right. Now, if they are a repeat offender, yes, then I can say, you know what? I can't do this. But it's something that happened one time, you know, let's see from that point how it go. I understand why you did it. I understand because we're still getting to know each other. So you really didn't know if I like this or I didn't like that or whatever the case. So understandable. I will give you another chance.
I agree with Lisa. We all need grace. However, we don't have to be stupid. You don't have to let somebody walk all over you. If somebody beat you one time, you don't have to give them a second chance. The Bible says if somebody cheats on you and you marry, you can leave. You don't have to give them another chance. You can be up out of there.
You sound like that. You're going to have that posted right on the refrigerator so you can be up, out fast in a
Oh no,
hurry.
that won't be one of my worries, but I believe that we all need to give people grace because we're just so quick to either say what we won't do or, talk bad about the other person, but we expect people to give us grace when we do something wrong. So if you expect grace, then you should extend it as well.
I feel that way.
Do you resolve? Lack of support. You are with somebody that does not support you or anything that you have going on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everybody else around you
I'm,
is supporting you, but this person.
I'm trying to see if I agree with this one or not. I'm not too sure if I agree with this one, but I do understand because there are certain situations where you may not understand. So understand what it is that I'm doing. So I don't necessarily seek your support because I know you're not going to understand what I'm doing. And then there are certain situations where yes, I need you, I need you there. I need you by my side. And then if you're not there by my side after asking or knowing that you should be there by my side, then that's like a whole nother scenario. So I got like 3, 4 scenarios that's twirling in my head that got me kind of on the fence about this one, the lack of support.
I mean, I don't have to really totally understand what you're doing, but if it's passionate to you and I know you're putting your all into it, then I'm going to be there to support you. Just to it's the common courtesy to do, especially if you're my partner. I should at least attempt to try to understand what's happening.
Yeah, that's like if my mother, that's like if okay, so I'm watching the show. I've lately become a big Zatima fan, and the main guy character, his mother actually OD'd and was in the hospital, and he was, without even saying it, the friends was telling the young lady that he's dating, like, you need to go there and be supportive. That's something that's given, whether y'all on the fence or not. Y'all working on getting back. That's, the support that I'm looking for. But if I'm having like a pain and sip, because I'm an artist and I got people come that you don't necessarily have to be there for that to support me. I don't care if you're there. Hey, that's cool. That's good. But if not, it's nothing.
Wait a minute. If you're an artist and you having a paint and sip and we're dating, you think I'm not gonna be there?
Hey, it may not be your thing. You may not want to get paint under your nails or all on your fingers, or you may flick paint in your hair, or something. You may not want to be there. You may not drink. You're not.
Even if I have to sit on the side and just be supportive on the side or help register people as they're coming in, oh, I'm going to be there because that's an opportunity for another woman to be there. And that's not going to happen. Because the last thing you're going to say is, well, she was there to support me and you wasn't, you couldn't even come out to my event. You're a lie. I'm going to be sitting right there front and center. Hey, babe.
Well, that's where I would want you. That's where I would want you at. But in the event or in the case that you feel some other type of way, that you feel as though that you don't need to be there, I'm just saying I'm cool with it.
I don't know what kind of women you dating, because if my man is having something, I'm supporting. Even if we had an argument that morning, I'm still gonna be there. I'll be there just to irritate you, knowing we had an argument that morning. You like,
Oh,
why is
I'm about
she
to
here?
say, because
Why
I
is
mean,
she
I
here?
don't even want to be in your presence. I don't want
Why
to
is
see
she
you.
here?
You better stay where you at.
I'm
Now I'll be
coming.
turning.
I'm coming. Especially if
I
you're
can't
my
even
husband.
paint because I'm sipping
I
too
don't care.
much.
Exactly. Especially if you're my husband. Oh, I'm gonna be up in that place. Hi, I'm Mrs. Yes, I'm gonna be up in the place. Sure is.
See, now you about to go there and start controversy all
No, I'm
because
not.
you're gonna be eyeing, looking
Nope.
at every chick in there, talking
Nope.
about which one he talking to
That is
or
not the
something,
purpose.
and then we're gonna bring our problems from home into the whole pain sip thing.
The purpose of me being there is to let you know I support you. Regardless if you acting a fool, I'ma still be there to support you.
But see, I ain't gonna think that is support. I'm gonna
Yeah.
think you there being nosy.
Yes, Lisa said, if it's important to my mate, I need to at least make an attempt to be interested. So true. An attempt. Like if he likes sports and you don't, you just like, I don't even know the purpose of this. Try to go to a game, try to watch a game with him just to be supportive. So he know at least she did try. She tried. And I'm not
Right.
saying you have to, like some women would try to take over and they go into all the games and he's trying to watch the game with his friends and you there. No, like allow him to have his time. But at least try to be interested, and don't try to be overbearing with the questions while the game is going on. But do ask him some questions so it look like he's teaching you some. So you have to know your man.
Well, this goes back to me as I always say about that. I mean, you should have something in common, both of you, that you both love,
Yeah.
something that brought you two together that you both enjoy, whether it's just riding your bike to go get ice cream or on the computer gaming or whatever the case. It should be something that y'all both share, that y'all love, that y'all do together.
I'm hoping it's something of substance though that we do together. Like even if it's that, even if it's like binge watching like a certain, series that's going on and y'all set a clock and a date so y'all know that's what y'all gonna be doing. Like, and then that could lead to other things, you have a conversation about it. And so you just have to be intentional about your partner and your relationship. And sometimes we get lazy in relationships like, oh, I already got them, and you just get lazy, you get used to doing the same routine stuff and you feel like, oh, I don't know what they fussing about, everything was okay. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any harm, but
Uh-oh.
sometimes men tend to be oblivious to issues in a relationship, and sometimes the woman may not be forward. And then sometimes the woman is forward and she's letting you know what's happening. You just like, I don't know what's going on with her. Is she having an issue? And she done left notes all around the house. She done told you I don't know how many times. And then she packs up and leave and she takes everything out the house. And you just like, what was wrong with her this morning? Was her cycle on? We just had a little argument and she just packed up and left. And it's like the whole time. And I don't know if it's because men tend not to, they may think some things are little and maybe they think women blow things up, and so they feel like, oh, that might have been something small to them and not worth leaving the relationship for, and the woman just is like, I'm gone. And they say that
Well,
women are the ones who initiate the divorce the majority of the time.
well, first off, women team seems to think that men are mind readers, and we are oblivious to a lot of things because you're leaving all these clues. So now I got to play Inspector Gadget and figure stuff out. But you should know your woman or your man and know when something is wrong, whether they're acting strange, they're quiet, whatever the case. That right there to me is like the biggest indicator. The energy is off. I'm big on energy. When the energy is off is when I know something is wrong. But if you still giving me the same energy and you talking about you just leaving notes and doing little things that I'm really not going to recognize, and then after a couple of weeks or a month or whatever the case, like, oh, I didn't get the signal, so you leaving me? Nah, that ain't fair. You should be able to be a partner and come to me and let's nip this in the butt early. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what happened, what offended you, so we can talk about it so it won't happen again. Don't get me to be the great Swami. If that was the case, shoot, we'll be super duper rich if I could read minds and know what's going on with everybody.
That's
You
true.
wouldn't even have time to be mad because we'll be out there spending money making it happen.
Vivian on Instagram said that's where consistently communicating comes into play. I think people underestimate communication, having a weekly sit downs with your partner and saying, okay, babe, where we at this week? Like what's going on? You have
Weekly dates.
it don't necessarily have to be a date. You can have date night, but you need to normally when you're having date night, you're doing things. So you may not be like having deep conversations. But I'm saying just even if you're going walking and you're talking about where we at, where we're going, do we need to eliminate this or do this? Like a lot of times people don't. We don't. We just take for granted that we're on the same page.
Very true. But also doing that date night, if you want to say, may be the perfect opportunity to let somebody know, um, because it is a nice, cool, you're having fun atmosphere to kind of break some news to them. Because one, you want to be able to tell your partner what's going on with you and y'all and how you feel, be able to express your feelings and emotions and stuff because you hold them in, you bottle them up, and later on down the line, you got about eight, seven different, we arguing about one thing, and then next thing you know, you got about seven things coming at you. You dodging like darts or something, or that axe throwing. Now you throwing axes at me, and I'm ducking and dodging, trying to move. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We was only talking about this, and now we're here with this and this and this. So it may be a good time on those date nights to open up to your partner and let them know, good or bad, whenever the mood hits you, so they can kind of brace themselves for, because you're in a nice calm atmosphere. Baby, I was at the casino and well, I kind of I was shaking the dice and see you smiling too, even when I
No,
say that. See how easy
no,
calm that was?
no. You're not gonna mess up my date night with no mess. Come telling me you no, we do that another
It
time.
might be the only chance you get though.
No, he is not gonna want to go on another date night with you because he's like, oh, she all she want to do is go on date night so she can start some. No, I feel like you should set some date night is for it's for you to have intimate time together. But normally in date night you're doing stuff. You're not sitting, excuse me, and talking. You're actually doing things. So I would rather have time to where we're just sitting and talking to each other and we're not distracted by doing other things.
Well, if you're on date night, more than likely you are probably getting a bite to eat. And that time from when you order to the food comes is the time where you talk. So that we'll just say 20 minutes is your time to get it out.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. Yeah, you should tell your partner about things that are going on, but I think you have to pick the place and the time. And date night may not be where you want to do that.
Right. And that's for you to set the tone to know, like, nah, tonight's not a good night. I'll save it for communication night or pillow talk or something when they're having. I'm not saying every date night be like that, but I'm saying if you can get it in and the mood hits you in the strike, then then maybe you might want to
That
just
person is gonna think once it happens that one time, that person is gonna think this is what date night is about. And then they're gonna come up with excuses every time you say you want to do date night. Let's because they're gonna fear that you're gonna be complaining every time this is what date night is about.
no. That's why you don't bring things up every time. Enjoy the night.
I agree
That's
with
what date night.
Lisa.
Yeah.
I agree with Lisa. Date night is for enjoying the company of the other person, not for those deep, intimate talks. Um, Vivi, um, Vivian says, if we are out eating, it's more for sharing intimate fellowship and celebrating time. Not, I agree, not venting things that displease me. This is not the time. I want date night to be of us having fun, just really connecting with each other, but not saying, well, babe, you know what? Every time we go out to church or whatever, I see you eyeing the girl on the third row, and I don't like that you're doing it. And so now I'm going to be with my mom for a couple of weeks to give you some time to yourself since you want to be with somebody. Like this is date night is going to be
What?
messed up. It's going to be messed up. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had experience doing this. I'm going to tell you why. I'm just going to air my dirty laundry out, but I ain't going to say the guy's name. But people probably going to know who it is because once I say
It ain't dirty
I
laundry.
went
It's experience.
I went on a cruise, right? So people who know me know who I went on the cruise with. I went on a cruise and I was into this guy. Went on a cruise. And at this time I felt like, man, I'm in the best shape of my life, right? Best shape of my life on this cruise. Um had on my little two-piece, hair done, everything, hair done, nails done, everything done. We go to the pool. We laying on the lawn chairs on the pool or whatever the chairs, just soaking up the sun, and we just sitting there relaxing, and we're walking around the ship. So we got back to the room and we was getting ready to go to a comedy show. And he was taking pictures. So he had this camera, he was taking pictures. And so he hopped in the shower and I was like, oh, let me see what pictures he took. I see pictures of other women at the pool. Pictures, 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 pictures. And I was like, do he not see all of this? What is this? And so I said, okay, I need to say something because this is bothering me. But I was like, okay, let me wait. Let me wait. We're going to go to the comedy show and we're going to have fun. And then I'll wait after that and tell him, right? So then, so I was like, I'll tell him after the comedy show. So we got to the room and I was like, hey, did you take any pictures? Let me see the pictures that you took. And he was like, oh, I only took a few. I was like, really? Well, let me see what you took. And he was like, well, I only took a few. I was like, so you're not gonna let me see the pictures? He was like, so I was like, I saw the pictures already. And I just want to know, why were you taking pictures of other women when you have a woman right here now I got other men looking at me and then you looking at other people taking pictures. Now, if you gonna look, make a mental note, don't take a picture. And he was like, oh, well, I was just taking pictures so I could take it back to my boys to show them what they missing. Or let your boys go on their own cruise. And so this was the day before we was leaving, right? So we went to sleep, we woke up, and it was really awkward because we had to wait to get on to board to get off the ship. We had to wait. They was calling you to get off. So we were sitting there next to each other like, I don't want to be here. And then on the plane ride was awkward. We weren't talking, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." Like, no, it didn't bother me. I'm all right. But it lied because when we got back, he was like, "Do not want to be bothered with you." So it's a time and place for everything. That probably wasn't. I should have waited till we got back, and maybe a week or so later, and be like, "Hey, I know what them pictures that you took on the cruise. And don't leave out the ones you took of the other women too, because I saw those." That was the time because we was really having a good time. But when I saw those pictures, it kind of threw me off because I'm just like, exactly, Lisa, disrespectful. I'm like, dude, do you not see me? Like, hello, you taking pictures of these people and this day looking all that hot. But I guess to him they was. But I'm just like, wow. I felt like it was greedy too because, like, dude. So it wasn't the time to say anything because we were really having a nice time. Like, we had waited to go on this cruise for a while. And not to mention we had other couples. It was kind of like a couples cruise. So everybody kind of knew it was tension. They like, what's going on? I didn't tell them what was going on. I don't know if he did. I don't think he did because he was kind of embarrassed. But I'm just like, it just messed up it was my first time going on a cruise. So now I'm like, if I go on a cruise, I don't want to go with a guy. I will go with a bunch of girls, but I don't want to go with a guy. I would rather just go with some girls and have fun, but I don't want to take a guy. And it's just probably because of him. If you go with the right person, you won't have that issue, and I know that. But it's a time and a place to bring up stuff like that. And I think when you're having fun and it's supposed to be a fun atmosphere, this is not the time. Just from experience.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, yes. I'm sorry.
I think he definitely was wrong for doing. Well, did he take any pictures of you?
I don't remember seeing no pictures of me on there. No, no, because he had the no, I don't remember me being on the camera at all. No, I don't remember me being on the I don't remember.
Okay,
Because I was
so
so once I
yes,
saw the other women, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
I'm just going to play devil advocate for 1 second. But one, do you think you should have been going through his phone?
No, it was the camera that we had for the cruise. He was taking pictures of our trip. So he was the one taking the pictures. And I don't remember if I took any pictures. He was taking the pictures. So it was his camera. So he was taking pictures. And I was just like, oh, let me see what pictures he took. I wasn't doing it to be like, oh, let me see what pictures he took. Because I wasn't thinking that he was thinking that way. We was having fun. We was enjoying each other's company. So I thought, so I didn't think that he was like, um, and I think he didn't think I was gonna go through the camera either. And I wasn't going through the camera to try to be, sneaky or anything like that. I really was just saying, oh, let me see what pictures he got.
So, okay, so the camera, it was pictures I was supposed to share, but he was taking back. Okay, so yes, he definitely was wrong for that, especially if he has a beautiful woman like yourself there with him on the cruise. I can't even say why. Like you said, to me, it's like, man, like you said, let your boys come and experience it themselves. I don't need to go back and take evidence of
Yeah.
what was happening or what happened. I'm here with you. So, was it his first time? Was it y'all's
It was
first
both of
time?
our first time going on a cruise. And let me just say he was 13 years younger than I am. So that could have been a problem too. But yeah, he that was both of our first times on the cruise. And I think he was in his late I was in my early 30s and he was like in his 20s. So yeah, we was like it was both of our first time. We was looking forward to it, and I felt like we was having a good time. And I'm just like, what why the pictures? So what's the purpose of the pictures? And yes, Lisa, it was so hard to pretend after that once the atmosphere had shifted. It was just like this is awkward. Like we couldn't even look at each other. We was just like but we had to because we had to sit next to each other. We had to get to the
Yeah, I
plane.
don't. I mean, I actually disagree with you and say that it was a good time to nip it in the bud because if you didn't, it was still been going on. You may not have known what was happening, but imagine if you would have moved forward with this guy and he just continued to do it. So I think it was a perfect time to
So
bring it up and say something on the
s-
cruise or not. Like,
so
look, you with me, you're going to respect me while you're here, or I'm going to throw you overboard.
so I
You'll swim with
did
the sharks.
so I did move forward with the guy. We had some time apart and we was like, okay, we got back together. And things was still happening. So that was just like a clue, like, oh, okay. And I should have took the clue from that, like, okay, that's it. Don't, you know. But then things kept happening. And I was like, okay, this is just how he operates. So then after that, I just had to remove myself. from the situation. But we cool now.
And
We cool now. So
okay.
we cool now. So but yeah, that happened and we laugh about it because I'm like, dude, what was going through your mind? Like
Well, what did he say?
he was just like, yeah, I really honestly was just taking the pictures for my dudes. I was like, dude, please. Like really. Like what grown person does that for other grown people? Like just admit you was taking the pictures for yourself. I mean,
For a while. I mean, you're never going to probably see these people again.
right. That's true. And I'm thinking about what Lisa said. It's disrespectful. It was disrespectful
It
for
was.
it to happen. And like we wasn't trying to hide anything as far as like the camera wasn't being hit. Like if he didn't want, because he probably didn't expect me to. I'm not a person that snoops, so that's probably why he didn't put the camera up because I'm not that type of person. So and again, I wasn't looking at it to think like, aha, I got him. Like that wasn't the thing because he didn't give me that vibe. Like we had some time in, so he didn't give me that vibe that that's what he was going to do or was doing because we was enjoying ourselves. Like seriously. Anyway, let's get off of that because that we spent too much time on that.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
ooh, yeah, I see the little. Okay,
See,
not so much steam, but you're
you
gonna
see what
be
I'm
all right.
saying? And that I guess that was it wasn't constant conflict, but we just had that one blow up, and then it was just like, okay. And I think you mentioned this one though last week about effort, unequal effort. One person is trying and putting in all the work, and the other person is not.
I think we did talk about that one.
We did it. I think a lot of people
So
do
see
that
what
too.
Ocho. Emotional neglect.
Ooh,
Mm.
wait. This is a good one. Feeling emotionally unfulfilled or neglected. And sometimes you get I think a lot of times this happens when a narcissist is involved. Cuz some narcissists don't care about your emotions. And so a lot of times they will neglect they'll love bomb you at first to where you think, "Oh, wow, they emotional." Then once they hook you, it's like, oh, I got them now. Then they'll withdraw from you, and then you're all emotional trying to figure out what happened and try to get back to that same love bombing feeling. They just neglecting you the whole relationship.
I forgot. I was reading something, and come to find out, we are all some type of narcissist.
Maybe you are,
It
but
is.
maybe
I
you
forgot what I
are.
was reading, but
Rizal.
yeah, we are all some type of narcissist.
Speak for yourself, Rizal.
Maybe some are just a little bit more extreme to it and act a little bit more, uh, follow more the guidelines to it than we do. But it's like crazy. Everybody is crazy. It's just what level of crazy you are, or how much crazy are you going to tolerate. Everybody is crazy. And the ones who say they aren't are the biggest ones who are. Trust and believe. I ain't came across, I ain't met them, I ain't dated them, and I got up out of there. But still in all, I'm crazy. There's some craziness with me. It's just what level you're going to tolerate. So the same thing with narcissism. We all got it in us, whether it's being controlling or this, that, it's there. Trust me. You may not
That was
realize
funny too.
because that behavior to you is normal and it sits good with you and your emotion of control and behavior. Look at her. Look at number 9. You
On
right on
target,
point when we talk.
right on
What a
point.
segue. Controlling behavior. Narcissist.
I think a lot of times people kind of mold us and manipulate us into how they want us to act in a relationship. And I say that because when I was with the narcissist, these are the things that he was doing. Like he was molding me to act a certain way. So that when he did certain things, now I'm not like surprised and going crazy because now I'm like, oh, okay. This is just who he is. So he ain't called me in a week, but I don't know where he's been. But guess what? We still together. And then he calls me and like, oh hey. So now I'm not gonna be like, hey, I ain't heard from you in a week. Why you ain't called me? What's going on? Like, what is this? What's going on with our relationship? And the first time he like, really? And then this is what he did, kind of manipulate you into thinking like, oh, it was you, or no, this is just how it is. So the next time he does it, you are not fussing about it. It becomes the norm in the relationship. And that's just an example. But it did happen. I was like, Ninja, you got the wrong one. Got the wrong one. It's not gonna be happening
It's
up
like
in
it may
here.
not have happened that way, but somebody got some truth to it somehow.
Like, this is not gonna
But I
happen.
also think like your friends play a big part to your relationship, especially early. Like you were saying, like with him molding you and where you've been. And I'm quite sure you had that talk with your girlfriends or whoever. Like, phew, I wouldn't stand for that. Like if I was you, I would do X, Y, and Z. And that just start clicking in your mind. Like, you know what? They could be right.
No, I was the one saying I can't stand for that. That was me. Like this, no, this is
Use the
not.
friend.
I was the
Use that
one telling
friend.
myself that, like, no, this ain't normal. This is not normal. If we in a relationship and I don't hear from you for a week and we haven't talked about that you're gonna have a sabbatical or whatever, you're gonna be gone for a week. Like, no, that's not what we doing. I don't know where you been and what you been doing for a whole week. You're not just gonna walk back up in here without me opening my mouth.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody can. I'll be looking at some of these shows and they be like, yeah, he was gone for 2 weeks and don't know where he was or what he said. How can you go away 2 weeks from the person
Trust
that
me.
you're with? Like,
Trust me. People do it. This one guy told me he was in jail. I need to see the paperwork. I need to see the paperwork. I need to see the arrest paperwork. I need to see it. I'm about to look you up and I need to see it. You're not gonna be telling me you was in jail and you was in jail the whole weekend. I've been calling your phone and
yeah,
people
if he
would.
got
I'm
in jail
telling
on
you.
Friday, the courts
Mhm.
don't open till Monday, Tuesday. And depending on what type of mood the judge in, yeah, you're going to sit there for about 4 days.
Mhm. You got the wrong one. You're gonna be in jail. Okay, I want to play this video real quick. Hold on, because we we running out of time.
He's hot, then he's cold. He wants to see you 3 days in a row, then all of a sudden he's not available for 2 weeks. He's replying really quickly at first, initiating calls and texts, then he'll leave you undelivered or read 4 days. Like he's lost his phone and you can't get a hold of this man. Inconsistency will drive you crazy. He's not serious. Drop him. Number 2, inconsiderate. He doesn't remember details about your life and doesn't follow up when you tell him something important. He cancels dates last minute or waiting till the day of to plan anything. So he's showing you that he doesn't value your time. He's on his phone a lot when you're with him. Rude. Drop him. Number 3, indecisive. He doesn't know what he wants. He just wants to see where this goes. He's just having fun right now, which is fine, but it's not okay if he still tells you that he might want something serious in the future. He's stringing you along. If he's not clear on what he wants, it's clear that he doesn't want you. Drop him. On to the next. Don't let him be all 3 of these. Oh my God, the worst type of man out here breaking hearts left and right, claiming he's looking for love. He's an empty trash bag floating in the wind as far as I'm concerned. Avoid this man. Do not give him your valuable time and energy. Drop him.
Whew, you heard that.
Well, it sounds like she's going through some stuff.
She's just educating the people, Rizal. She's just educating
Nah.
them. You have individuals that are out here that are inconsistent, inconsiderate, and indecisive, and they expect for you to be, as you would say, put you on layaway until they decide and come back around and be like, oh, now I think I want to be bothered with you. Be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. Oh, I'm married. Oh, no, time is that's lost time you cannot get back.
Well, no, the layaway plan doesn't exactly works like that. It usually works until you finish up or get out of your situation when you actually now got the time for me and we can kind of like pick up where we left off. That's where the layaway come in. It's like, okay, you're going to go over there with him for now, but I'm gonna still be here. So by the time when you done with him, Even if it go to marriage, I'm gonna wait through the divorce. I'm gonna wait for y'all to have problems. If it takes me 15, 20, 30 years,
That's a desperate person. That's a person.
somewhere along that line in there, something is going to happen in that relationship. Y'all ain't always going to agree. And that's when that door that is open is going to be open for me to slide on back in there and start paying on my layaway plan.
And this is why you don't, ladies, leave the door open. Some men will leave and leave a little crack so that they can always come back through that crack. Shut it down, just like she should. Say it, shut that door. Nope, you're not coming back up in here. This is a done deal. Block the number. If you see them in public, pretend like you don't even know them. They be like, hey, Rochelle. You be like, oh, hey. And then keep going. I do that a lot sometimes to people. Just pretend like you don't know them. Just keep it moving, because they gonna bring the same trash that they brought into your life the first time. Just, you took the trash out already. Don't keep allowing the trash to come in. When trash keeps coming in and it's sitting there, what happened to it? It starts to rot and stink. Shut that door. Close it.
In the defense of the layaway plan, maybe at that time maybe it wasn't the right time right then. Maybe you're in a relationship. I'm single. You're in a relationship, and things ain't going. You complaining about how he doesn't do this, and you're upset, and you're going through all these problems. Maybe at that time when we did meet, and we, like, hey, this is something that I would want to pursue. So I'm going to wait for you. That it didn't present itself at that time. So I had to wait until you cleared your head, you got yourself together, you healed, you went through all these therapeutic things, you've seen the counselor, all of that. I had to wait till that happened before you became that woman who I wanted to pursue again, so I can now take you off layaway and cash out and go on.
That's really sad. But it's sad on the person's part who's doing that. That's really sad.
It may sound sad, but it's America. It happens.
It happens, and it's like, who is really putting their life on hold? That is sad. And yeah, that person may be in other relationships or whatever at the time. Like, sing the song, I guess I see you next lifetime, but it won't be in this lifetime. Like, go away.
You never know. You never know. Maybe you running into that person was God's way of me saying, this is your exit from that person. Because everybody's not supposed to be in your life forever.
That's true.
They teach you what they need to teach you, and you move on. So maybe now if you met your move on, and let that person deal with whatever karma or whatever that he's going to get. Or maybe I may be your karma. Who knows? You never know. You never know what you're going to be interrupting or what you're waiting for.
A lot of times you don't want to circle back. If I dealt with you before, there's a reason why I'm not dealing with you. And a lot of times it's not a good, don't circle back. A lot of times, don't do it. All right. So on that note, we're wrapping up the show, Rizal. Of course, we didn't get through everything. We only got
how many more
up
we
to
got?
Number 10, and I have
we're on number 9.
23 on the list. So
oh my God.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. It's just be a part 3. So we're gonna wrap up because I have another show coming behind me. So I want you to give them some words of wisdom about signs they are not the one.
Yes. If he's wearing high heels and a dress, he is not the one, ladies.
I can't with you. I can't. I cannot. And you're right. He's not. He's not.
That is a sign. Put that as number 24, please.
You're right about that. He's not. Is that it for your words of wisdom?
That's my words of wisdom.
Don't go anywhere, you guys. Coming up next, right here on Intellectual Radio at 7 p.m. is Pillow Talk with God. So stay right here. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Never give someone the opportunity to waste your time twice. Join me next Monday right here at 6 p.m. on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting with me today is Rizal Gilmore, a.k.a. The Biz. Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on IntellectualRadio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.